Welcome to the Paranormal Perspective, episode 3. Thank you guys again for joining me today. And if you want to share your stories with me from your personal paranormal experiences, you can email me at info@paranormalperspective.com. You can also check out my website, www.paranormalperspective.com. Let me know what things you've experienced, and I can share them on here for you. Now, one thing I also want to state is for anyone in the Calgary area, southern Alberta, a lot of you folks might know of a place called Cappy. Now, Cappy is one of the local paranormal investigation teams, and I am part of that team, so a few people have been asking me about investigations. So if you do actually need an investigation done, definitely check out my website at paranormalperspective.com, and you can find a link there that will actually let you put in your request for an investigation if you actually do need one. Or you can also go to www.cappy7.ca. That is the Cappy website, and you can also contact us through there as well. So if you do need an investigation done, definitely let us know, and we can definitely talk to you and see what we can help you with. So today, what I've got going on for you here. So I've got one of the new emails from someone. Now this is actually coming all the way from Marshall, Missouri in the States. So it looks like we're actually getting out there pretty good. People are starting to come in not just from the local area, which is pretty neat. So like I said, if you have any stories of your personal experiences you want to share, definitely let me know and we can get you on here. So going right into it, I have to admit, after I read this one, it's a bit of a creepy one. Now, it's someone who's got a rather scary experience that they've gone through, and they, it seems, do not really know what to do in this case. So rather than me just kind of giving you an overview, I'll get right into it and basically give me your thoughts. Tell me what you think. Again, this is a place of respect and no judgment. So always remember that if you have anything that you want to share, please be respectful, because we don't know what these individuals who write in are actually going through. So it's not fair to judge for any reason. Always making sure that when you're writing in or listening in, listen with an open mind, because if it was you, it could be quite terrifying if it was you going through it. So always be respectful, please. So that being said, going into this, just to state, I am going now to read the email. So this is the email that I just got. I don't claim to know a lot about ghosts. I'm like you. All I know is what I learned from my limited personal experience and from reading ghost stories. Ghosts are confused, I think. Lost. That's why they bang and knock and try their best to get your attention. You'll do that someday. One day you'll be alive and, well, the next, no one sees you or pays attention to you. That's why reading stories is helpful. We'll all be there eventually, and this gives us an idea of what to expect when we're dead. I was up late last night reading some ghost stories. You already know that they make you jumpy after you've been reading them for a while. Driving down the road, you almost expect to see Bloody Mary in your rearview mirror or something. So while I was laying in bed, my lights were off, reading stories on my phone, my attention was drawn to the shape in the corner of my room. It was dark in the room, and I told myself how creepy if that shape turned out to be some lady or something. I ignored it mostly, going back to my reading, but looking up from time to time, and then I realized it was a person. And then the horror of it hit me. My hair stood on end, and I instantly felt goosebumps all over. I didn't want to die, and that's all I could think of, that this thing was going to kill me. I didn't move for the longest time. It didn't either. Our eyes were locked across the room while my heart was pounding, until we both jumped across the room at the same time. I raced to the door, and it seemed to also, trying to almost block me off, I'm sure. I don't know if it could physically stop me from leaving, but it apparently thought it could, and I was not waiting around to find out. I just knew from seeing out of the corner of my eye that it was heading for me as I raced across the floor. As I yanked the door open, the door hit me in the face as I went by. There was no time to notice the pain or the stars that I saw because I was running for my life. As I got out of the room, I heard the most horrendous, hideous scream I've ever heard on TV or anywhere else. It was angry and frustrated and, yes, even afraid all at once. The scream seemed to say it all. I don't know why I was able to get out of my bedroom door, because I sure couldn't get out of the front door of my house. It refused to budge. I curled up on this downstairs couch, hiding my head under my arms and listening to the screaming and crashing upstairs going on for the longest time. At some point it died down. I don't remember when, because despite my fear, I somehow fell asleep. When I woke up, it was about 4 a.m. All was quiet. I wasn't going to go back upstairs though. No way. I spent the rest of my night down on my couch. I knew from reading other people's stories that crashing noises don't usually result in them finding stuff broken, and that was the case from the next morning. I climbed the stairs most slowly, ready to fling myself right back down them, but there was nothing. No broken furniture, no mirrors, no sign of ghosts at all from the night before. So it is safe that I keep living in this house. So is it safe that I keep living in this house? If a ghost is just a dead person like I think it is, what did it want with me? Did it only want to communicate with me, and so it didn't want me to leave? Or is that insane? Is it from the confusion of being dead that it really wanted to kill me also? My scientific mind wants to know, and there's really only one way to do that. End of the email. So needless to say, that is a pretty interesting story, because it sounds like it could be a very terrifying event. Something like that would definitely leave scars on a person's head, and without a doubt, how else can you really face that? In all my investigations that I've done, and all the paranormal experiences I myself have experienced, it's never been anything to that extent where it almost seemed like something was trying to hold me against my will or block me off from leaving. That very much could be a very terrifying experience, and something that would leave a person in every way shaken. It's hard to say. How could one really tell what an entity wants with you without actually being able to communicate with it directly? It's really hard to tell, because it's actually like the person in the email said, how do you know? Is it just trying to communicate, or does it want something with you? Is it trying to hurt you? Is it just trying to get your attention? Does it need help? Does it not like you? It's really hard to know without direct contact. Always, of course, my advice on anyone going through a situation like this is you need to be cautious. Anything that can basically make itself visible, that takes a lot of energy for an entity to be able to manifest itself. So if it has the amount of energy to make itself clearly visible to you, and has the amount of energy to make that much noise, verbally screaming, making crashing and banging noises, things like that, that's a lot of energy that this thing apparently has, and it is able to do things. It's able to really get your attention. Now, being that you're in the States, definitely in the Missouri area, if you want to give me contact me again, I can definitely help you find someone in the area, someone reputable that you can actually talk to, maybe come in and take a look and see if there's anything they can help you with. If everything goes to its best, hopefully this is just something that was just trying to get your attention and didn't want you to leave because it needed help or needed your attention or focus for some reason. If that is the case, that would be best case scenario, of course, then definitely not something you'd want to be terrified of. It just was a very scary situation, but at the same time, you definitely want someone to come in and find out, to see if there's anything they can help you with, see if this is something you can help, or if it's something you need help getting rid of. So definitely err on the side of caution. If you need help finding someone to get in contact with who can help you, definitely just let me know, and I will help you out with that for sure, and try to help you find some help in your area. Otherwise, you can do that yourself as well. Truthfully, with the internet, you can find anything nowadays, and investigation teams are everywhere. So definitely find someone who can give you a hand. It's again, be safe. Definitely be careful while you're there. If it makes you, I always believe that you trust your gut. If it makes you feel terrified, there's probably something to be scared of. Now, that's not saying that if you see something that makes you jump, be terrified. That means that if your gut is saying that you need to be afraid or you need to be cautious and fearful, listen to it. Because a lot of times you hear also about people who experience a paranormal activity or an entity that they don't feel unsafe. They actually feel quite comfortable. That, again, their gut's saying this is not something malevolent or dangerous. So you can usually trust yourself. You just trust yourself, and if you feel scared, find help. Find help, because you will definitely want to take care of this. If it is something negative, you don't want it lingering and interfering with your life. You want to actually be able to take care of it and get it out of there. We have to always remember that in this life, we we're here in this world. This is our time. Things that are no longer part of this world in that physical sense, they've had their time. It isn't fair for them to try to impede on our lives in present day. We are going to have our time to pass on at some point as well, where it's not fair of us to say we're staying here and it's tough luck. So it's the same thing. When our time comes, it's time for us to move on also. So that being said, definitely find some help, see what it is that's going on there, and let's hopefully find a way to take care of that issue. Hopefully, again, it's not something malevolent, but definitely take care of it. And please definitely do follow up with me again, because I really would like to find out, and I'm sure everybody listening would like to find out exactly how the conclusion of this and what happened. Or even give me updates if it's taking a little bit of time. I would love to hear them. And if you want to share them as well, then I would love to do so. Because this is a pretty big deal going through something like that. And just letting you know, you're not alone out there. There's tons of people all over the place that go through such things and do need help. And a lot of people are afraid to ask for it because it is an uncommon thing. But there are people out there willing to listen. There are people out there willing to help. And all you have to do is just let us know. And there's a big community out there who's willing to give you that support. So if that's going on, find someone and I will help as well if you want me to, and we will take care of it. There's always a way to do something to take care of it. I'm a firm believer that there's always a way to deal with that situation. There's always a way to find you the help you need. Because if you just want it gone, regardless of if it's friendly or not, it's your space, it's your home. You need to take ownership of that home. You need to make sure that it knows you don't want it to be there anymore. So you need to be able to actually get it out of there if you want to. But if it is something more benign and something you're okay to live with, that's all right too. But you have to determine what it is you want, and then we can help take appropriate steps to take care of that for you. Myself, being able to help you if I can. Granted, being in Calgary is a little harder, but like I said, I can help you find some help. But at the same time, going through your local channels in Missouri and finding someone who can actually help you address this situation, because I can understand why you'd be terrified there. That is a pretty scary situation, pretty freaky thing to deal with, and it's not something that would be fun to go through on a regular basis. So let me know, and if you have anything that you want to follow up with that you can let us know, that would be great, because I'm sure that everybody listening would definitely love to know how this is working out. And I know saying love to know over your fear is not exactly a nice thing to say, but truthfully, it's interesting. Just as much as you enjoyed reading your stories, just as much as people enjoy hearing yours, it's a pretty big deal, because aside from the scariest parts of it all, truth is, I wouldn't say every one of us, but a very large amount of us have this desire to know what's on the other side. This desire to know what's out there beyond what we know today, this physical world. Hearing those things can be scary, but at the same time, very inspiring to know there's something more than what we know. There's something more going on out there, and we all, I'm sure, deep down somewhere have this desire to know what it is or something about it to give us this hope that there's more to it than just this day to day. And even though that is a scary situation you've gone through, just thinking about the fact that that tells us there's something more beyond what we know in this day-to-day life, which it's very exciting to know that. Hopefully you don't find me insensitive, because truth is, I myself, as a member of an investigation team, I go looking for it. So it is kind of an exciting thing, and I do hope you're very safe out there. But it is very interesting to hear, because that is a very filled, exciting evening, and perhaps exciting is the wrong word, but best one I can think of that gets your heart pumped up. Whether it be positive or negative, it's something that really gets your attention for sure. So it tells us there is more going on out there than we can really understand. So I really thank you for sharing that with us, and we do hope that you will let us know what's going on, and hopefully you're safe. Hopefully everything out there is okay, and let us know if there's anything anyone out there can do to help. Based on that, I mean, it's a pretty big situation going on. If anybody out there has a situation of their own, a personal experience that they wish to share, again, you just email me at info@paranormalperspective.com. Again, you can find us on my website, www.paranormalperspective.com. And also, you can find me on Facebook. That's Vijay Prasad as paranormalperspective.com. And let me know what you've experienced. Let me know your personal situations, and I'd love to share them for you. Well, thanks, guys, again for joining me.